My name is Chen Weiyin. You can call me Chen or Weiyin later on. So today is come to our topic for the webinar. So how does the PTC Creo solution to make every mocha with the Creo Mold Analysis? So let me just brief a little bit for the agenda. So we will talk a little bit about the customer demands and what kind of challenges inside the mold analysis extension. And also, I will describe a little bit what is the injection molding process to form different type of the problems sometimes. And then I will also talk a little bit further for the Creo Mold Analysis extension, what kind of solution it have and the capability. So how is the process when using it and what kind of value that bring from the Creo Mold Analysis. And lastly, we'll come to the summary. So let us talk about the customer demand. So for now, customer is always demand for faster turnaround and higher quality of the product and also lower cost. So I believe that some customer or you have experienced like the last minute design change that caused some rework on the shop floor. Especially for the mold analysis, is quite important for it because you are not able to predict whether your mold have problem when it's sent to the manufacturing. So for the injection mold plastic is really tough for the manufacturing. Like, are they really going to work as the shape that you design? Or sometimes it might be whack or it is not it may be disfigured and the mold is not filled. If we are going to design something like this, it costs some money. So it might require to rework and we will spend more time than expected delivery date. Mean you send the product late to customer, you may lose the trust from customer as well. And in the old time, the traditional mold filling analysis is actually made for the mold shop expert rather than the designer like us. So we also need to concern about the tooling. Like the tooling to make the mold base is a very critical part before you're going to introduce like the new product line. So this is the area where you have any problem from this, it will get really, really expensive for them because you already build a mold base, but then the mold coming out from there maybe have the air trap inside and there's some artistic problem causing the appearance doesn't look good. So it costs even higher and delay in your product to the market. And then now I will just talk a little bit for the molding process. So usually in the injection, we have a few type of the different molds. So for example, for the thickness distribution, imagine that this is a side view. So with a larger thickness, of course, the flow have a less resistance going through. So the bottom one is the top view. So if you see from this side, this is the thinner part, it will causing the welding line. This is one of the common issue facing in the molding process. And this is the different type of the direction how you inject the mold. So this is what we call the tube flow. So you can see the flow is the projection going to the inner side. So this kind of mold may have been facing for the hesitation problem, which means that the flow is getting slower until it may stop somewhere here. This is called the pin getting. So you can see the radial flow is flowing radially very nice. So for this one, I will describe about the 6 type of common problem can be faced. So this is what I described for the hesitation. And this one is caused by because due to this different speed of the flow and is causing the valve line causing it not even. And this is the air track, can be phased very easily. And this one will be more due to how many runner you're going to put in the mold flows. So it's causing the unbalanced runner system. And if you can see this orange line, when they intersect to each other, the line will overcross here. And this tool is also causing by the unbalanced flows of pattern. Just that the first one is the cavity is overpacked from here. You can see the first one is already full. That's why the flow is very hardly to reach to the end. And this one is opposite. It's meaning that the cavity that might fill incompletely. It reaches to the end first, and then for the first one, it doesn't fill completely. So in order to solve this problem, sorry, slide a little bit. So in order to avoid this problem, we always need to think about how to prevent this problem during our design phase rather than you send to manufacturing. And then we only found out that our mold is having this kind of problem. So we need some help from there. And first and foremost, I would like to introduce for the Creo Mold Analysis extension. So this is actually is part of Creo. Creo is the CAD software, and I hope you heard it before. So, and it is designed for the Creo designer. So for the Creo Mold Analysis extension, it's actually is fully integrated with Creo. So you can see that in this Creo, it's not only not only do inside the CAD environment, but it also does for the plastic injection fill process. Like I can animate it, so you can see when it reach 30%, how does the mold flow looks like, and 60, 80, and 100% when it's fully filled. Yeah. So what is the purpose of it is that you want to see it, whether it's going to fill completely or is there any air track happening? Yeah. And other than that, we also have a very huge database to apply for plastic material. So it's very convenient when you want to select the material just from a library rather than you key in the detail one by one, like what is the melt temperature or what is the mold temperature, and also what is the flow rate suggested as well. You can see there is a database and a graph to see what is the behavior when it's faced to different temperature also. And if you have your own customized library, you also can add inside as long as you have the material properties. So it has also have an option for the gate location. So you can either give for the single gate or two gate. And we have one function called automatic gate creation. So it can run a preview to recommend you which is the location is suggested to put the gate. If you want to put one, then it will suggest based on one gate. If you want to put two, then it will suggest based on two different locations. And this is the problem that we are going to identify. Like we wanted to eliminate it before manufacturing. So maybe from here you can see the air track that is run by the Creo Mold Analysis. And the right hand side is the weld line. So you can see if you have seen this weld line, if this kind of product is molded, then it's probably is a bad idea because this is something where people always need to press on like that. And there's so many weld lines, so it's going to break or even be fragile. So by using this Creo analysis, you are able to see that and see, I need to twist the design for a little bit before sending to manufacturing. So this kind of advantage. And this another problem can be observed by using the analysis. So if I zoom in for this area, actually it tell me that for the melt front time when reached to 0.566, actually there's some region is not being filled. And there's also another problem for the excitation. So this kind of the color is actually going to tell that this is the region where the mold doesn't leach. You will really hate to find out like very last minute. But having here, we can predict it during our design phase. And there's also another kind of the capability to identify the issue. For let's say these three different colors is actually telling that I'm putting three different gate position. So this color is going to tell me like how is that the percentage of injecting the mold is equally. This equally then is supposed to be equivalent to 33%. So we have the function called the result advisor. It will come up with a window. It tells you what they detect, what kind of problem they detect inside this analysis. So for this example, show her it telling me that actually the mold flow is not even in this gap position. So it actually will also recommend, they will give some recommend or solution to teach you whether I need to adjust for thickness, or I need to increase the diameter for the gate, or I need to increase the flow rate of the mold. So for the process of doing this mold, we always start from the modeling, which what we design our part. And then we will perform a simulation with our Creo Mold Analysis. Then we check our result by looking through our report or some of the analysis. So we commonly just come with two type result. If this is okay, then proceed to the manufacturing. If this is not okay, then we will just need to go back to our modeling, which is also within our CAD environment, just to modify the geometry, or you want to increase the radius, or you want to, or maybe something. Then we go back to simulate with the Creo Mold Analysis again and check the result until we get this product right. So let me just introduce about, this is the Creo environment and the tab you can see. So it is just very simple. How am I going to open for the mold analysis extension? I can just go to the tab called application. And once I click on the mold analysis, then all the tools inside can directly working with the mold analysis. And that is just very simple. It's only 3 steps for me to perform a Creo Mold analysis. So this is the material, gate, and analysis. So for the step 1, we will need to assign what kind of material for this part first in order to perform the mold analysis. So you can see that there's a library. So I just select for the Asahi Kaise. And then once select the material, I can just press the OK button. And for step 2 is to do the gap setup. So if you see here, actually we have 2 options. You can actually to manually choose your gate. Like you have your own design, you want to put the gate here or gate here rather than what is recommended. Maybe you want to see how to study how does the mold flow differently. While for the automatic gate creation, it's more on you are asking the mold analysis to recommend where should I put the location in order to achieve better result without any problem. Step 3 is also the last one. So you can, since you already select the material, and then you just need to prepare for the running process. So this is the filling time. Usually you need our input. This is the input that we need to give it to the simulation so that it can run it to analyze it. And this also have some optional simulation, but usually I will take all because for the maximum cooling time is also quite important, and especially for the sync mark. We don't want our appearance have some artistic problem. So once you put selecting everything, and for the measure, you can also have 3 options like cost, medium, and accuracy. Usually medium is quite enough, but if you want to have a faster result, then I can just choose the cost. So once ready for here, I can just take this analysis and going to run for the next step. So when you run the analysis, it normally will come up with the analysis monitor. So you can actually see what is the progress and what is the remaining time to complete it for the filling and also for result analysis. And it can, if you can see clearly, it can also tell you what is the weight of the cavity and what is the total weight of the runner as well. So of course, sometimes we are not just doing for one study. You can also add on multiple study from 1 to 10 or even 20. And then if you want to review the result, you can just come back to the analysis setup, select and activate. Then you will view the result to the analysis 2 or analysis 1. You don't have to save multiple different files. It's all saved within the same file. And just now I also already introduced about the result advisor. So result advisor is a tool that help you to determine the problem or tell you what is the potential problem, and then they will give what is the solution to help you solve this problem. And this example here maybe is the air track. So it recommend you maybe you can increase the filling time, or you can change the gap location, or even reduce the injection speed in order to eliminate the problem. And the other capability, so generate report is very important for designer because you are not only want to determine it, but you may also need a report to prove customer or your supervisor or even some of the actor. You have to tell them your product is safe and sent to the manufacturing. So we have a button that can automatically generate the report, and we will auto to export all these kind of different results that is showing here, like the melt flan time, how about the air track, whether it got same mark or different the frozen ratio. So this for the maximum result, it can be up to 30 plus. So for the value of what does the Creo Mold Analysis extension can bring, the more important is that they are able to identify what is the potential mold filling. So like the problems such as short, air track, and weld line. And it's also help out as a designer to improve our design quality, reduce the manufacturing cycle time, and also we can eliminate kind of the rework of the mold. And we are able to optimize like the injection location. Like I say, it can suggest us where is the location to put the gate, and also give some of the suggestion like how you're going to increase the diameter or adjust the speed of flow. So finally, we can improve our product appearance. So again, I like to emphasize for the Creo Mold analysis, it's designed for the non-specialist like us, is a designer without any extension knowledge of plastic analysis. So everything work done inside the Creo CAD environment. You doesn't need any different software to open separately. You can do every design change or do analysis all at the same environment. So it is really fully embedded within the PTC Cure parameter. And this is what comes to the solution achieve our topic for today. Make every mold count with the Cure Mold analysis. So it is very easy to use and it can perform faster analysis and also able to generate a reliable result and report. And the key here, I say reliable results, is mean that for the Creo Mold analysis, it's actually powered by the Moldex 3D. And Moldex 3D is a very world-leading CA product for the plastic injection molding industry. So there's no worry about whether this result is trustable or not. It's very reliable. Yeah, so thank you for your attention.